Good morning, everyone. I hope you are still awake. My name is Ntoudi Mouyelo. I'm the Chief Investment Officer of Rwanda Finance. I have a few slides for you, and I will make it brief because the ambassador, my colleague, already gave you the big picture of why you should be in Rwanda and why you should invest in Rwanda. But I want to give you a story before going to the slides so you can understand and appreciate what is Rwanda, who is Rwanda, and why Rwanda's story is actually the story that you should know when looking at Africa. 2012, the leadership of the country started to think about this project, Kigali International Financial Center, 2012. Research are being made, assessment, and from 2012 we go to 2016. 2016, a delegation from the financial sector with the Minister of Finance, they land in Singapore. They land in Singapore and they want to see how Singapore has been successful as a financial center. And they meet someone, and they said to that someone, I will call the someone Mr. A for Africa, let's come to Rwanda and let's build the financial center of Kigali. And Mr. A is like, the financial center, a business and financial center in Kigali? Are you serious? The answer is yes. 2016. Mr. A said, let me think about it. 2017, same question. Still thinking about it. 2018, Mr. A is in Rwanda, Minister of Finance, and after a few discussions, he has been told, you have the job, you have to build a financial center. You have to make it happen. Why this story? 2018 starts, COVID hits, and now we are fast forward, 2022, and KIFC is the first financial center in sub-Saharan Africa. Impressive, right? Why this story? Because one, we all have to understand the vision of the country. It all started with the vision. Second, perseverance, the discipline. The discipline that led to what I'm going to share with you today. Within COVID time, we have reviewed 24 laws in Rwanda. And within almost 2 years, 18 of them have been approved by the cabinet and went to the parliament and are now fully enforced, gazetted. 18 laws in 2 years. I don't know if many countries can present the same type of result. Thanks to that today, if you look at this map, as I said, we are the first financial center in sub-Saharan Africa. So when we know the importance of development, private sector, you see the different continents. Africa is the one being, I will say, underserved. We have in Africa actually some international financial centers. And we are happy to have signed partnership with Casablanca. We are happy to work closely with our friends from Mauritius. We are also happy to receive investment and investors from South Africa. But very few centers actually do provide and facilitate cross-border investment and transactions. And this is where I'm going. You can go to Kenya, you can go to Nigeria, you can go to the centers I've just mentioned. But in sub-Saharan Africa, which one will make it easy for you to invest first in the country, being Rwanda, and second, will help you actually expand in the rest of Africa? This is what we are offering through KIFC. You receive already some numbers from my colleagues. Let me share with you 3 numbers. The first one, you know it already. Up to 6 hours to open a company in Rwanda. Now, what about the financial center? How many days to open a bank account? It will take you 3 days. Tell me where you are able to have this type of service. And from there, how many days to get access to a license? Let's say you are a fund manager, you are a banker. It will take you, I will say, 3 to 4 months. So, what is the value proposition when you're coming to Rwanda? First of all is compliance. And I repeat, compliance. That's a key word. We are the first country in enforcement of law in Africa. If you are an investor, if you are in business, you know how important it is. Second, we have the most transparent government in Africa. If you are a businessman, investor, you know how important it is. The ambassador said it. We fight corruption, and we are in the top 5 country when it comes to the corruption index. So compliance for us is key, because when you will put your money in Rwanda, we want you to feel safe, that you will not be seen as operating in a jurisdiction that is blacklisted or grey-listed or this kind of negative perception about Africa. Second, when you are in Africa, when you are in Rwanda, we are also offering what we called access to a dispute resolution center. We have the Kigali International Arbitration Center. What we would like to see is your business starting in Rwanda, having the support of professionals based in Rwanda, but also coming from the rest of the continent, coming from Asia, coming from Europe, that will be taking after your case, if need be, at the Kigali International Arbitration Center. The second reason why you should come to Rwanda for investment and also to establish your company is because of our African connectivity. My colleague Philip just explained, you can take a flight with Rwandair, have access to over 20 cities in Africa. Also connected with UK directly, Dubai, Belgium. But now when we talk about business, how are we connected with the rest of Africa? We have initiated the largest, we are aiming to have the largest network of non-double taxation agreement with African countries. Because we believe to protect you and to make your business more successful, you need taxation to be efficient as much as possible. And I remember when we started, but my name is Ntoudi. So Ntoudi, you know it will take time to get all those agreements. It will take time. Remember Rwanda, vision, discipline. Within 1 year, we have signed already with DRC. Do you know how many countries in Africa have signed with DRC, a DTA? Very, very few, less than 5, not to say 2. And you are one of them. We have signed with Angola. We have signed with Congo Brazzaville. And we are in very advanced discussion with Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Senegal. The list is long. Just to say that if you want to be connected with African countries, and if you want to see your investment receiving fair taxation, you should be in Rwanda. But we know that Africa is also receiving FDI from the rest of the world, and we are here in UK. So we have signed DTAs with Singapore, one of the few countries in Africa with a DTA with Singapore. We have signed with Luxembourg. We have signed with Qatar, with UAE. Sorry. We have signed with China. We will be signing very soon, we hope, with UK, with France, and the list will again increase. So the second reason to come to Africa is because we are connected with the rest of the continent and we are connected to key investment countries outside Africa. The third reason to come to Africa is the ease of operation, and I said it already. 6 hours to open a company, 3 days to have a bank account, 4 months to get the license. Just try it and tell us. You see, I didn't talk about tax because we believe that tax is secondary. Giving you 3%, 15%, 0%, depending on what you are doing, simply depends on how you are impacted our local economy. And this is a discussion you can have at any time with my colleagues from RDB. What is more important for us is how we can facilitate your entry into Rwanda. We have access to all policymakers. Ambassador said it. You can talk to anyone in Rwanda. Phone numbers are public. We will facilitate access to banks. So what are the banks that we have in Rwanda? We have our local champion. We have Bank of Kigali. We have banks from East Africa. If you know Equity Bank, KCB Bank. We have banks from West Africa, the champion in Nigeria. We have Access Bank. We have GT Bank. The list is not exhaustive. We have also Pan-African banks like EcoBank. And we will have very soon international banks in the top 50. But we are work in progress. We have the first Turkish private bank in Africa called Active Bank. They decided to come to Rwanda. And of course, we have a community of investors, and that's where we want to see you. We do connect investment opportunities with investors. And when you come to Rwanda, it's not only about us asking you to invest in the country. We want to do business with you. We have the only pension fund that have massively invested in private equity. Rwanda Social Security Board invested 50 million in a private equity fund together with Qatar Investment Agency for a total amount of 250 million. And they invest in companies not only in Rwanda, but in Africa. That's what you will find when you come to Kigali. You will find partners, investment partners. And you will also find local investors. But this story is nice, but we have to recognize that part of our success is coming from the partnership that we have been able to build. We are closely working with British international investment. What you have to know, those 24 laws that we have gazetted within 2 years, part of them have been vetted by BII. Why? Why will BII look after the laws of KFC? Because they wanted to have in Sub-Saharan Africa an onshore financial center to root their investment into the continent. So if they believe in us, if they trust us, why not you? We are working closely with the government of Luxembourg. We have a cooperation agreement with them. I said Qatar. I said Jersey. Jersey Finance, because we also like to learn from our peers, and of course, Casablanca. Talking about investment, we are a member of AVCA, the Africa Venture Capitalist Association, and a member of EAVCA at the level of East Africa. To make it short, I will not go through all those names, sorry. You need to have also one or two success stories of Rwanda, of KFC. Have you heard about Africa Pharmaceutical Technology Foundation? Any of you have heard about it? No. This is the newly established foundation from the African Development Bank to invest in companies in Africa that are developing solutions in the pharmaceutical space. They have decided to establish that foundation in Rwanda. Let me try something else. Do you know Afrexim Bank? Yes. What is Afrexim Bank doing? They do provide trade finance solution. But did you know that they are also now investing in SMEs in Africa? And they have a platform called FEDA, F-E-D-A. That platform is based in Kigali. They have just announced 670 million available now for SMEs on the continent that are facilitating intra-Africa trades. Again, they have chosen Kigali. And I will stop with one last success story because it's all about cross-border. It's all about connecting you with the rest of Africa and inviting you to invest in Rwanda. Dakar Network Angels. Those are the business angels from Senegal. They invested mostly in West Africa, but their investment platform is based in Rwanda. So the money is coming from Dakar, going to Kigali, then going to Lomé, going to Abidjan, going to Senegal, just to say, the story that I just shared with you is now also understood from our brothers and sisters in West Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. The team is there to support you, and you are most welcome to come to Kigali. Thank you.